Hi folks, so let's start learning about the Docker and importance of Docker. Okay, so how to write a Docker file. Okay, so I will give you a simple example how Docker file looks in real time. Okay, so okay, so here you can write the from. Okay, I will explain each and everything from scratch. Okay, now let me write the things. Okay, so this is the work directory that you will have it app. Okay, so then you will have the copy command. Okay, so then you'll have some run command. Okay, some run commands. Okay, to install some sort of things. Then you have the expose, so I'll explain why expose is required, why not. So then you will have the entry point, then you have the cmd. Okay, so usually this is the basic setup that what we get in the docker file. These are things that you need to write in the docker file. Okay, so if you want me to explain from the VS code, so let me quickly open the VS code. Okay, here it is. I hope you are able to see the VS code. Let me open desktop. I have a kind, so let me open the kind. Okay, so let me have a, a folder created again. No, I have multiple documents here, so I can go for a Flappy Bird. Okay, so inside this you have a docker file, right? So in this docker file, what I actually written is here. I will paste that over here again. Okay, so I have written just work from and work directory, a copy, run pip install requirement.txt, expose 5000, and cmd is a python app.py. Okay, so if you want me to explain the same thing in this way, where is that? Here, so let me paste that here. Okay, so this is what I have just took it from the VS code. Okay, so from python 3.1 slim means, okay, so you have written the code. Okay, so you have written the code. Okay, so this is your entire application code. Okay, so you have written. Okay, and this is your app dot this is your app.py. Okay, all things are there. So this might be anything. Okay, just a front end page or some application. Okay, so in order to explain in simple terms, so this is your app.py and you have written some code here. Okay, so this code is currently in my local system. Okay, this is currently in my, okay, this is currently in my local system, right? So this is in currently in my local this is my laptop. Okay, so this is my laptop, it's in my laptop. So the same code should run on my friend's laptop or the in my company's environment. Okay, it has to run. Okay, so the same code has to run. So in that case, so my laptop has a VS code, all the dependencies, everything is installed. So in, so this person also should do the same. So this person also should do the same. In this person essence, it might be an environment. Okay, so this might be a dev environment, or this might be a production environment, or a test environment, like this. Okay, uh, so from the docker file, how we can solve this problem is that, so we tell everything what an application is required to run, so we write it here. Okay, so this python 3.5, right? So this python, where is the text? So this python 3.1 slim means, okay, so this is also a docker image. Okay, so it is pulling from the docker registry. So this from is the, right? So this from is this point. Okay, so this from will pull this python image from the docker registry. Okay, so what is docker registry, I'll explain you in future videos. Okay, so but at the moment, so this is image. Okay, it's an official image. These being maintained by some of the officials. Okay, either it could be a Python from the Python team or from the Docker team. Okay, so what does this contains means, so this will have one OS. Okay, so this will have one OS, I think some base Debian. On top of that they have installed Python. Okay, so on top of that they have installed Python. Okay, so on top of that they have installed Python. So this is P. Okay, so on top of that they have installed Python. Okay, so now it will have operating system and Python, so which your laptop also had. Okay, you are so this was my Mac laptop, so it has a Mac OS, and on top of that I had installed the Python application. Okay, Python in the sense a VS Code. Okay, VS Code was there in that Python I have installed. Okay, so now so you are setting up the working directory. So in this, so you will have the you will have these things, right? These folders, everything will be done by you in the same way. Okay, in the same way here, what will you need to create the work directory. Okay, so this working directory will sit on top of the this operating system. Okay, OS. So it will go and sit on top of this operating system OS. Okay, so here it will create an work directory slash app. Okay, slash app. Okay, so next is the copy dot, not slash app. Okay, here just a copy. Okay, uh, okay, you can have a copy. This one is a dot and slash. So here I had, so in here I just mentioned about copy. Okay, and here I have made a copy dot and slash app. So this two dot means, okay, so this is a source. Okay, so this first one is the source and second one is the destination. So this source means your current work directory. So in my VS Code I had a files right here. So consider this is my laptop. This is my laptop, so I had all the files, right? There's my local system. So those files will be copied to the destination is what, slash app. So that slash app is the work directory created on top of this OS. Okay, operating system. It might be Linux or a Debian. Okay, so there you had app, so it sits on that, like app here it sits all the files. Okay, all the files in the sense I had app.py, right? App.py, this file, and a requirement.txt. I'll tell you what is requirement.txt. Okay, so next you have a run pip install -r requirement.txt. In requirement.txt we will mention all the dependencies, what all libraries dependencies that is required to run an application. Okay, so in my case I had just written the Flask. Okay, I had just written the Flask. Okay, in your case it might be anything in production or in any large scale industries, whatever they require they will mention in the Flask. It usually developers will mention. Okay, you can take help of developers also. They will mention everything in the Flask in the requirement.txt. For Python it's a requirement.txt. For Java or any other different code language, they will have different set of this. Okay, in Java I think we have pom.xml. They will mention everything that is required to run during the runtime. Okay, next is this expose. What is this expose actually do? So this expose does is means that this container listens on port 5000, not exactly this listens on 5000, just for documentation purpose. Okay, so next you have a CMD and a Python CMD. Okay, so here there will be definitely one question, what is an entry point? Okay, so they will ask you like entry point and okay, and CMD. Okay, and CMD, the difference they will ask you. So entry point will give you a, like, and this entry point is there, right? So this will give you a fixed, okay, whatever you have mentioned app.py, right? So this is in CMD, but if you mention this in entry point, so all the time when the container starts it will execute this application only. Okay, but when you have a CMD, so you can override this. You can have app1.py or app2.py. Okay, app2.py, app3.py, like this. Okay, but in entry point always whatever you have mentioned here it will run. So there you might have a question, so can we have entry point as well as a CMD at a time. So you can definitely have it. Okay, so you can definitely have, and you can test it also from your end, what exactly happens when you have a CMD as well as entry point at the same time. So in order to generalize both, so what exactly is the difference is that entry point will run whatever you have mentioned, but CMD gives a flexibility during the runtime. You can change the application, okay, or like exactly what needs to be tested. So if you're a developer, if you want to test quickly, then you can have a CMD, okay, but in the production level you can have both CMD and entry point, okay, no issues. I hope you are clear with writing a Docker file, okay. So if you want any more explanation, please do let me know in the comment section, so I can just work around it and come back to you with a better explanation. Thank you.